What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Now, as some of you probably will know, this month is Pride Month. And for that reason, last night, I went on to r/AskReddit and I wrote myself a question of my own. You can see it in the title, you can see it on screen right now. Gay people of Reddit, I asked, what was the best or worst reaction you received to coming out? Now, pretty astonishingly, guys, in just a number of hours, there were hundreds of responses, and I'm going to be giving you the best in this video. So yeah, for those of you that are a part of the LGBTQ+ community, I hope you enjoy this one. For those of you like me that are not, we're probably going to learn something. And for everyone that perhaps didn't get a chance to comment on the Reddit post itself, please leave your answers to the question in the comments for me to go through after this video. And you know what? If you see a funny comment or an interesting one, or maybe even a sad one, drop it a like, drop a supportive comment, and yeah, go through and enjoy the comments after we're done with these amazing answers. So in today's video, we'll be looking at the top responses to the question, gay people of Reddit, what was the best or worst reaction you received to coming out? I was sitting at the table, surrounded by my uncle, his pastor, my brothers, and the funeral director, arranging my father's service. We were collaborating on the obituary. My family is incredibly southern. I did not grow up in contact with my father's side. Around the table we go. My dad's brother James, sister Phyllis, sons Charles and Matthew, daughter Erin. Oh, what was your husband's name? Now, my uncle had made a beautiful effort to get to know me as my father got sick and deteriorated. He asked after my family, my kids, my mum. When he made reference to my marriage, I let him make assumptions about gender just to avoid complications. But everything crystallized in that moment over the obit. My uncle said, "What's your husband's name?" I replied, "Stephanie." The pastor didn't miss a beat, neither did the funeral director. My brothers tell me that my uncle's head shot up in complete shock. Whatever he worked out for himself between that look and the time I was ready to check for a reaction, I will never know. But when I looked up for myself, he was smiling at me. He looked at me warmly and mouthed, "Not a problem. I have a wonderful uncle." My dad was just like, "Well, at least you won't get pregnant, Lamau." Wow, that is one way of looking at it for sure. I mean, I don't know if you want to tell him about IVF and all of that, but for now, maybe just leave it. I said nervously, "I'm gay." My mum said, "Girl, you came out of a closet with no door." I mean, this is literally true, isn't it? A lot of parents will know before their child is ready to come out to them that they're gay already. You know, no one knows you better than your parents most of the time, so this isn't really that surprising, but it is quite funny. My sister said, "Yay, I always wanted a gay brother." I replied, "You realize that you always had one, right? I'm not suddenly going to change my personality and enjoy shopping with you." Wait, you're not? Ah, that is actually very funny. Wow, that's a real shame. I mean, just go shopping with her for once, man. Come on. I told my dad I thought I was trans, and he started crying and told me I'd be an ugly girl. Wow. I mean, I don't know what to even say to that. Is that hilarious, or is that horrible, or is it both? So, the worst reaction I got was my mum telling me and my siblings that it's a phase, so we should all ignore it. That was 10 years ago, and we're all cool now. It messed with my head a lot early on though, and I still have some damage to mend for myself. My uncle and aunt told me in front of my grandma that I'm awful and will burn in hell for being sinister. I don't talk to them anymore. But the best reaction was from my dad. He didn't say much, but his neutral acceptance coincidentally broke down a lot of walls we had when I was growing up. We got to know one another a lot more once I felt free of my secrets. Love him times a million. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not the best person to speak about this, but neutral acceptance is probably what everyone wants, right? I mean, just, you know, nothing's gonna change. They're like, okay, cool, let's carry on as we were. When I first started coming out to my friends, it was too difficult to say, "I'm gay." The first time I said that I'm like Edwin, who was another gay guy. The second time I said I'm not straight, I then joked about how it was starting to get easier to tell people, and that not straight was progress. To which my friend joked that next time I'll tell someone I'm not gay. Well, fast forward a year with a new roommate, and the topic came up. I took the opportunity and said, "Matt, I'm not gay." He shrugged, looked sort of confused, then said, "So, you're bi?" I just started telling people I was gay after that. Yeah, I mean, this is getting a bit complicated, isn't it? How many knots can you have in one sentence? And if you're going to confuse people like Matt, then yeah, just say you're gay. It's way easier. I nervously sent my sister a meme about being bisexual. Her response was same. Funniest waste of adrenaline ever. Not gonna lie. That is actually so sick that you both kind of just came out to each other at the same point. Very, very cool. I told my mum I was bisexual. Her reaction was, honey, you told me you were dating a guy months ago. Yeah, I completely forgot I did that. So she already knew. My sister was the best, just because I was so worried about how she would respond. When I told her, her response was, cool. Do you know when mum's gonna get more snacks? That is what you want to hear. You know, as I said earlier, neutral acceptance, carry on like normal. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, by the way. With all of these, you know, tell me your answers to the question. I want to know your best and worst reactions. And also, how would you want to be accepted? That's a good question, isn't it? Wow, I surprise myself sometimes. Let's carry on. I told my kid, I love you and accept you no matter what. Go unload the dishwasher. Wow, that is brilliant. I hadn't told a few friends about my boyfriend, but when I did, dude, I know you've been drooling over him for months. Man, that was hilarious. Hey, Dad, I'm gay. Hi, gay, I'm Dad, and I support your choices. Yeah, this guy is like the biggest dad joker there is, come on. The worst reaction I got was my mum saying, I can't deal with this today, and hanging up the phone. The best reaction was seeing my brother the day after I came out on Facebook. I asked him, carefully, if he'd seen the post. I did, he said cheerfully. That's okay, I like girls too, especially this one, and then he kissed his wife. Brilliant. I phrased it poorly telling my father. Would you still love me if I were gay? I said in a text. He ignored me for 2 weeks, and we never spoke about it again. That was when I was 17. He remarried in 2017, and I get a call a few days after the wedding, which I did not attend because they gave me 2 days notice and I lived states away, saying his new wife doesn't think I should be a part of the family, which I accepted. I don't like being where I'm not welcomed. I'm 27 now, and we haven't spoken since then. And it's for the best though. I'm very loved by my spouse's family, and I've learned to love myself throughout the years, despite his dismissal. Well, whilst I'm very glad that you have learned to love yourself, as anyone should, that's still very sad, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. I mean, I completely agree with the comment below. Your father is a weak-willed, spineless man. Your life is surely better now. It certainly sounds like it is. Actually, I mean, all of these comments are amazing. I can't stress this enough. Their loss. I don't think he phrased it poorly at all. A good parent would simply say, of course. And look, 19 more reply. Honestly, when I made this post, I wasn't expecting the level of love in the comments. I mean, maybe I was, because, you know, it's a very wholesome community as Reddit, but seriously, incredible support from everyone here. My mum was shocked. And the first thing she said as she started bawling was, oh no, and your father and I made you play rough sports. Yep, that was what did it. Thanks, Mum. I love softball now. My parents both said that I was saying it because of my friends. What? Seriously? What a horrible, horrible thing to say. I really hope they've changed their attitude now because that is mad. I told a classmate of mine that I was pansexual, and his response was, what is wrong with some people? It turns out he's homophobic and posts anti-LGBTQ stuff on his Snapchat, so I blocked him. So when he said what is wrong with some people, the irony there is nothing short of incredible. Wow. And here we have a comment from one of my actual patrons, Daria, who's a big member of the Discord, and has commented, my parents thought I was joking when I came out as bisexual. They were saying what guys like and what I need to do to get a cool guy. The whole discussion started from a pair of heels I didn't want. So I asked them, and what do I do to attract a hot girl? My parents flipped out and then decided I must be joking. They still think I was joking. Facepalm. This happened about 2 months ago, guys. Oh, wow. A funny story, that's for sure. I've come out twice, which complicates things, and not in a normal way. I originally came out as gay, and then again as bi, so yeah, a bit strange. But my mum takes the cake, with the classic, maybe I'll get some grandkids yet. I mean, it's a fair point, a lot of parents think about, will their children have their own kids, and will they become grandparents? And you have to admit that she's right there. Being bi, you have probably more of a chance. I don't know. As I said earlier, IVF is obviously a big thing these days, so I don't know about that. Adoption as well, of course. My sisters and I were in my apartment swimming pool, and I came out as bisexual to them, now identify as pansexual. They said, and I quote, "Cool, we should have pizza now." I love that they cared, but that it wasn't a huge deal. Now, interestingly, a comment below kind of has a different sort of perspective. I was actually disappointed when a friend reacted that same way. It's kinda a big deal for me personally, and even just a little acknowledgement like thanks for telling me or asking an innocent follow-up question was very much appreciated. But of course, this is always better than disapproval, that is for sure. Very interesting, yeah. Do you want people to say, okay, nothing changes, let's just completely go on as normal and act as if nothing really happened? Or do you want them to say, or, make a big deal out of it and say, oh, it's amazing that you've told me, well done for coming out? Or do you want some sort of middle ground? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Awful story. Me to my dad. Dad, I'm gay. My mum, who already knew but was afraid of my dad's reaction, thus absolving herself from any drama, such as possibly kicking me out of the house, said, "You are?" My dad then frantically lit a cigarette. "Are you sure? Are you okay? I don't really care as long as you're not going to hurt yourself." My mum then said, "I'm going to start recording Queer as Folk, which is a British TV show, for you on the PVR now, that I know it's cool." Yeah, that's definitely a strange reaction. The best story I've got is me to my grandma. "Grandma, you should probably hear from me first before Blabbermouth Aunt says it for me. I'm gay." Yeah, I figured, but I wanted you to tell me rather than ask. Just like that interesting vase you keep on your patio, which I obviously know isn't a vase. It was a bong and I lied about it. Now, Grandma was the best. I miss you, Grandma. And now, guys, for the final comment of this video. This one comes from Alpha Julian, who is one of my Discord moderators, an absolute legend, has been a viewer of my channel for literally probably as long as it's been around, so over 2 years. Absolute goat. He says, "One friend group was immediately supportive. The other friend group was wondering if I was gay, until they asked me if I was gay during a camping trip, and they were cool with it. My family still don't know that I'm gay, but I'm finally going to come out to them later this month. Hopefully they're also supportive. Mate, I really hope they are. Well done to you." And there we go, guys. That is going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for those of you that actually got involved, whether you got involved from the Discord or from Reddit itself. I posted this question. I was expecting, maybe a few responses. But as of the time of recording, let me just check this so I get this absolutely right. There have been 874 comments in 15 hours. That is crazy. Guys, if you did comment and I didn't get around to your answer, then I'm very sorry. Please do leave it in the comments down below, though. Even if you haven't answered it on Reddit itself, drop your answers to the question in the title in the comments below. I want to go through and read all of those because, it's Pride Month now, and I want to see all your best answers because a lot of the ones I've read out have been very entertaining, very eye-opening, some quite sad, and some just hilarious. Finally, guys, if you do want to be the first to know about this sort of style of video in the future, then I'll always post that sort of stuff like an announcement over on my Discord server. So if you're not a part of that, the link should be on screen right now, hopefully somewhere. And if it isn't, it's in the description and the pinned comment, first line. So please do go and join that. There are 10,000 members in there. And if I do something like this in the future, I'll pretty much just, tell everyone in there, I'm doing this. It's the easiest way to communicate with you guys. So yeah, those of you that are already a part of it, got your comments in early to the AskReddit question, and I've already read them out. So yeah, kudos to you for already being involved. And if you're not involved, you'll be welcomed. So see you over there.